resetting in the first rooting exercise, I noticed that my hip, standing on my left leg, and my left ball joint was kind of in place, kind of stuck. And after you said something, I started rotating around that ball joint. That's what I should be doing, right?
When you say the ball joint, you mean the ball joint of where the left. So if my left leg is back and my right leg is forward, you're talking about the ball joint of the left leg, correct?
Where the leg connects to the hip.
Legs connect to the hip. Okay. And before it was feeling stuck or something like that?
Yeah, it was just, I found I was static and there was more mobility available that I wasn't using.
Okay. What did you do to have more mobility?
Basically, just release.
Yeah, it's supposed to be released, right? Everything is a release. And just like what I just said, that when it goes to the when it comes up from the ground, it goes back to the ground. Don't think that it has to go through the ball joint to get to the ground. You have to think that in the speed of light, it goes to the ground, it comes from the ground. Yes, it does go through every part of the body, but you don't want your mind to start there. You want it to start from the ground, to the ground, from the ground. That's very important. Because if you start from the point of contact, like if you're doing rotational rooting and you're thinking that, well, I have to open my joint, that's true. But you don't want the genesis for the energy to start from there. You want it to feel like it's going to the ground already. So this way, the energy has direction. Does that make sense? When the energy has direction, now it starts to find its path on where it needs to go. So to answer Mary's question, she asked me maybe a week ago. She says, Wayne, talk to me because your energy that's coming into me keeps finding me and I'm losing my center. So the answer, Mary, is that when I'm coming at you at gradual incoming force, to learn how to not get caught in that moment where you're stuck already, always think that it's going to the ground already. That's what you need to do. Because it's natural that when I'm touching your forearms or your shoulders, your mind is going to go there. That's just the natural reaction for everybody. So we're unlearning that when I'm touching your forearm and your shoulders, you're already in the ground. And when you're already in the ground, what happens to your commander? It knows how to be supple now. Remember, it has to go to the ground, to the general before it talks to the commander. So if my energy touches you and you know how to take it to the ground with proper alignment, now your commander will service you. It will know what to do intuitively. So that's what I'm doing, Mary. It just becomes more natural. And of course, to understand it doesn't mean you can do it right away, but that's where you start. That's how you develop it. And once you taste it, I got to work a little harder to play with Mary now. That's what's going to happen because as she gets it, I'll know it because she'll know how to take it to the ground instantly without getting caught at the point of contact. That's why when it comes back up, it's from the ground. When it goes back down, it's like you're taking it to the ground. It goes right through your body. You don't want to get stuck at the point of contact. And as you develop more rooting, you'll find that stable to know how to keep it there. Okay? So that was a very good question, Roger. Brought up a couple other things.
I've got another idea.
Sure.
We talk about the point of contact, but we don't talk about the point of beginning. If everything begins at the ground, then you can make all your connections like a surveyor has to have a point of beginning to make all his measurements.
Yeah, when we meet in person, I've said before you touch me, I'm already in the ground already. I don't start when you touch me. I go to the ground. It's too late. So when you're doing all these drills that we do from beginning to the Daily 10 series, like let's say Stone Gong #1 pendulum, I don't start and then take it to the ground. I'm already in the ground. Remember, we have that expression, we go bottom to bottom, right? We don't go from top to bottom and bottom to bottom. We're already in the bottom. We're just going lower to the bottom again. That's what we're doing. So when you do that, what happens to the limitations of your body? It learns to become more tone and more empty. Because if it goes directly to the bottom, that means that it's zipping through your body. It's not stagnated in your body to go down. That's why the posture and the structure to create that alignment is so important. If you want it to go directly down right away, you need the structure, the alignment. That's all part of it. And then therefore you become more tone, song tone, home. So when we're practicing the set, that's exactly what I'm doing, right? So of course we don't do set, in this class and most classes we do, but once I start, it's from the bottom going down, right? And everything is free because I'm always going from bottom to bottom. And how it permeates and comes back up to me is always from the bottom coming up. And therefore, what happens to my arms and my legs? They become more and more free because everything that generates, because I'm moving, I'm standing, there's energy. That energy is always going from bottom to bottom. And when it rebounds back into me, because as I said before, to avoid leaking energy, the energy is doing the movement now. The energy is doing commencement. The chi energy is doing grass, forest, tail, left and right. The energy is doing ward off. So when you feel that more and more, that means that it's permeating from the bottom coming up. And when it's returning back, because we have the duality of up and down, it goes from the bottom to bottom. That's how I'm doing it. Okay. So do we do that only in the form? Absolutely not. We do it in the Song Gong, we do it in the meditation walking, and we absolutely do it in two-person drills. So that's how I'm doing it. And over time, because you start to feel it. And the energies of Penglu Jian starts to know how to express itself when you're doing all these drills. It's all there already. So that's the path that we're taking here. Okay. Any other questions?
One more. When we were doing the third rooting exercise, the ankle rooting.
Yes.
This time I was standing on my right leg and I'd let go of my left again, and the ball joint kind of tracked a nice little figure eight. And it felt very nice, loose, neat.
Yeah. You bring that up, and it's the topic that I'm going to talk about one day soon. So what you just brought up, Roger, is that when you're doing this, you can feel the figure eight now, right? Of how it kind of rotates, whether vertically or horizontally. You say you feel that figure eight, correct? All of the rooting exercise have it. So in the beginning, when we're doing this figure eight, right, we're learning to do the figure eight. See, just going around in the eight, right? So when you're doing rotational rooting, again, when you're doing the figure eight, you're learning how to do it internally, right? It's very good. So when you're doing rotational rooting, you're also doing that figure eight. Even though the energy is on the back leg, you can use your mind intention to guide it around to come back. So you're constantly doing that as well. And you'll find it in the form you'll find in everything we do, it has that figure eight. Why the figure eight is very important? It teaches you yang yang. Okay, how to be yang, how to be yin. And once you understand that, it will become more natural in the practice in everything that you do. Okay, and I didn't understand it before, but then once I got a taste of it, I started learning how to manifest it. Just last week, again, pushing hands with Mary, she says, "You're coming at me on my left side, it becomes yin. My right side knows how to become yang." It just happens because you know how to do that figure eight. You don't make it manual, it just knows what to do already. You come to me on one side, I go to the other side. You come to me on top, I come to you on the bottom. Intuitively, it knows how to do it. That's how intelligent the body is. But you have, unfortunately, you have to unlearn a lot of things. And one of it is reflexes. One of it is just using your muscle. And the hardest part is learning how to 静下来, to let go of the mind. Because the mind is going to say, come forward. The mind is going to say, do something against this incoming force. That's the thing that you have to unlearn. But the good thing is that you're here, you're doing these programs, give it time, embrace the opportunity, embrace the benefits that you'll get. It's very good for health anyway, not just doing this. The importance of not letting the mind get too in charge is that it allows you to step back before you say something, and then or step back before you actually do something. That's the benefit of clearing the mind. It plays out in that very big role. Okay, so I'm